There's something you need to understand about why this video found you right now. You're standing at a threshold most people never reach. And I know you've been waiting, praying for your time to come, praying to finally win, because everyone around you is having their moment while you're losing a little faith every day, thinking this is how your story ends. But there's a reason why the universe showed you this, and you clicked on this video. Your story isn't finished. Your prime isn't gone. I know you're looking at the wreckage of what you thought your life would be, the dropped opportunities, the closed doors, the people who left, the plans that fell apart, and calling it failure. But here's what you can't see from where you're standing. If you're seeing this, you're about to start winning. Not because the universe suddenly decided to bless you, but because every single thing that broke you was laying a foundation for something you couldn't have built any other way. And you're finally close enough to see it. Let me explain something about how your life actually works. You're trying to connect dots looking forward, planning your next move, strategizing your path, trying to figure out how this piece leads to that piece, leads to the life you want. And it's not working, because that's not how dots connect. Dots don't connect forward, they only connect backward. You can spend your entire life trying to see the path ahead, trying to make sure every step makes logical sense, trying to control how the pieces fit together. But you'll miss it. You'll miss the whole point, because the dots you're collecting right now, the ones that feel random, the ones that don't make sense, the ones that look like detours and mistakes and failures, those are the only dots that matter. And you won't see how they connect until you're standing on the other side, looking back. Think about this. There was something you wanted desperately that didn't work out, a relationship that ended, a job you didn't get, a plan that collapsed, and it devastated you. You thought that was your shot. You thought that was the thing that was going to change everything. And when it fell apart, you called it failure. You called it loss. You called it proof that maybe you're not meant for more. But what if I told you that thing had to fall apart? What if that closed door wasn't rejection, it was redirection? What if that ending wasn't the universe taking something away, but protecting you from building your life on a foundation that would have cracked the moment real weight got added? You couldn't see it then. You still might not see it now. But one day you're going to look back and realize that thing that broke your heart opened the path to everything you actually needed. Here's what you don't understand yet. The detours are the path. The things that look like you're going backward are actually the only way forward. You think you're supposed to have it all figured out. You think every step should make logical sense. You think if you're on the right path, it should feel clear, should feel certain, should feel like progress. But that's not how transformation works. Transformation looks like chaos. It looks like you're failing. It looks like you're going in circles. It looks like nothing's working. Because what's actually happening is invisible. You're collecting dots, random, seemingly useless dots, and you won't know what they're for until the moment comes when you need them, when that skill you learned in a job you hated becomes the foundation of the business you build, when that person you met in a season you wanted to forget introduces you to the opportunity that changes everything, when that pain you endured teaches you the empathy that makes you irreplaceable. The dots only connect looking backward. So stop trying to force them to make sense now. And here's the part that's gonna hurt. You've been treating your setbacks like they're off the path, like they're evidence you're doing something wrong. But what if those setbacks are the path? What if getting fired wasn't failure? It was freedom. What if losing that relationship wasn't loss? It was liberation. What if dropping out, starting over, hitting rock bottom, facing the thing you were most afraid of? What if all of that wasn't you falling behind, but you being rebuilt for something bigger than what you were chasing? Because here's the truth. You can't become the person capable of holding what you want while you're still the person who wanted it. You have to be dismantled first. You have to have everything you thought you needed stripped away. You have to stand in the wreckage and realize you're still here, still breathing, still capable. And that's when you stop building your life on what looks good and start building it on what's actually yours. Let me tell you what's happening right now that you can't see. You're in the heaviness phase, the phase where success, achievement, doing things the right way feels suffocating, where you're so busy trying to measure up, trying to prove yourself, trying to be what everyone expects, that you've forgotten what it feels like to just create, to just follow curiosity, to just do something because it fascinates you, not because it looks impressive. And that heaviness, that's what has to break. That's what has to fall apart. Because on the other side of that heaviness is lightness. The lightness of being a beginner again. The lightness of not knowing. The lightness of following fascination instead of logic. And that's where your actual life begins. Not when you finally achieve the thing you thought would complete you, but when you lose it, when you fail, when you're forced to start over and realize that starting over with nothing but curiosity and willingness is the most powerful position you've ever been in. You know what you're afraid of? You're afraid that the time you've spent not winning was wasted, that the years where nothing made sense, where you were just surviving, where you were just trying to figure it out, that those years don't count, that you're behind, that you missed your window. But that's the illusion. Those years weren't wasted. They were collecting dots. Every job you hated taught you what you don't want. Every relationship that failed showed you what you won't accept. Every plan that collapsed cleared space for something better. Every moment you spent feeling lost was actually you being prepared for found. You just couldn't see it because you were trying to connect the dots forward. But they don't connect forward. They connect backward. And when you finally get to the other side, when you finally start winning, you're going to look back at this exact moment, this confusion, this frustration, this sense that nothing's working, and you're going to see it for what it actually was. The foundation, the preparation, the only way you could have become who you needed to be. Now, here's what you need to do. Stop trying to make it all make sense right now. Stop trying to force the dots to connect before they're ready. Stop judging your path by whether it looks like everyone else's path. Your path is yours, and it's supposed to look different. It's supposed to have detours that don't make sense. It's supposed to include failures that feel devastating. It's supposed to take you through seasons where you have no idea what you're building, because you're not supposed to know yet. You're supposed to trust. Trust that the thing you're learning in this job you're overqualified for is going to be the skill that makes you irreplaceable later. Trust that the person you're meeting in this season you want to escape is going to be the connection that opens everything. Trust that the pain you're enduring right now is shaping you into someone capable of holding what you've been asking for. You can't see how it connects, but it will. Not because you planned it, but because you trusted it. And here's what changes everything. Stop waiting to start winning, to start living like someone who wins. Right now, today, you can make one decision from that place. One choice that the version of you who's already winning would make. Not because you feel like it, not because it makes sense, but because you're trusting that the dots will connect. You drop the relationship that's draining you, even though you don't have another one lined up. You quit the job that's killing your soul, even though you don't have the next move figured out. You start the thing that fascinates you, even though it has no practical application. You follow your curiosity, even when everyone around you is following logic. And that choice, that one decision to trust the dots, instead of forcing them, that's the first dot that everything else connects to. That's the moment your life stops being about survival and starts being about creation. Now, if this is landing, if you're recognizing that your setbacks weren't failures, they were foundations, I need you to do something. Go to the comments and type 3 words. Dots connect backward. That's it. Because when you declare it, when you name the truth that you can't see the path forward but you're trusting it anyway, something shifts. You stop trying to control how the dots connect and start collecting them with purpose. And if you know someone standing in the wreckage thinking they're behind, someone trying to force dots to connect before they're ready, share this with them. Ask them to declare it too. Dots connect backward. Because we don't connect the dots alone. We trust together, we collect together, and we win together. Subscribe to stay connected to this community. And if Super Thanks feels aligned, it helps these messages reach more people who need them. But whether you support or not, the fact that you're here doing the work, sealing the cracks, that matters more than you know. Thank you. The truth is, you're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. Collecting dots that look useless but will be priceless. enduring losses that feel like endings but are actually beginnings, building foundations that look like nothing but will hold everything. And very soon, sooner than you think, you're going to look back at this exact moment and see it clearly. The job you hated taught you the skill you needed. The relationship that ended made space for the one that stays. The plan that collapsed redirected you toward what actually aligned. The time you spent confused was you being prepared for clarity. The dots connected not because you forced them, but because you trusted them. And that trust, that willingness to collect dots without knowing what they're for, that's what separates people who spend their lives planning from people who spend their lives winning. So here's what I need you to understand before you close this video and go back to doubting yourself. Every single thing that's happened to you, every failure, every setback, every moment where it felt like you were going backward, every door that closed, every person who left, every plan that didn't work, all of it was a dot. And right now, you can't see what it's for. You can't see how it connects. You can't see why you had to go through that to get here, but you will. And when you do, when you're standing on the other side looking backward, you won't wish any of it away. You won't call it wasted time. You won't regret the detours, because you'll see what I see right now, that every single dot was necessary, that every single experience was building you, that every single moment you thought you were failing was actually you collecting exactly what you'd need to win. The dots connect backward, so stop trying to see forward. Just trust, just collect, just move, and watch how everything you've been through becomes everything you needed. You're about to start winning, not because winning was waiting for you to be ready, but because you finally stopped trying to force the dots and started trusting them to connect.